Welcome back, warriors. My name is Jess and I'm the creator of Tired Girls Club for women with autoimmune diseases. I was diagnosed myself 6 years ago with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, and I have learned a ton of tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you right here on this channel. Don't forget to click subscribe and ring the little bell so you don't miss out on all the ways that you can improve living with chronic illness. Remember, it doesn't have to be you, and it certainly doesn't have to beat you. Let's get to it. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all of my brow secrets that I've been using for years thanks to my thyroid disease. Yeah, thanks, thyroid. I went from non-existent brow game to brow game strong. I have been faking my way to brow heaven for the past few years, and I even get compliments on my brows. I'm so excited to bring these tips to you so that you can start getting compliments too. Tint, tint, tint. Girls, you have got to get in the habit of tinting whatever sparse hairs you have lying around. I started tinting my own brows about 4 years ago, and I've never looked back since. You can pay to have your brows done professionally, but who wants to do that when you can do your own as and when you want to? I use Eyelure Dye Brow in dark brown, which is roughly £10, and I get about 10 treatments out of it, which is way cheaper than any beautician. Tinting your brows before doing anything else is the best way to maximise what hairs you do have, making them darker and more visible. When applying the cream colour, don't worry about getting it perfect. In my experience, it doesn't really dye the skin. Top tip: when the dye is applied, go around the outline of your eyebrow with a Q-tip. Wait 15 minutes and voila! Avoid overplucking. This isn't the 90s where thin was in. A few stragglers here or there is not going to do any harm. When we have sparse brows, we are not in the position to be overzealous with our plucking. The idea here is to make sure they are neat, so any strays get them out of the way. Be sure to measure up if you are not sure. The shape that we do now is going to dictate everything we do next. To measure up, line up the thickest part of your brow with the inner corner of your eye. This is where you want the brow to stop. Then line up the arch of the brow with the edge of the iris. That is for your arch. And to get the tail, line it up with the lower lash line. Now we've made the best of what we have naturally, we can move on to filling in the blanks. Depending on the style and look that you are after, depends whether you'll choose a pomade or a powder. I've recently switched from a pomade, which gives a much more defined and dramatic look. I prefer the more natural fluffy look, so I've been sticking with my powder, but I'm not a makeup channel, guys, so I will leave it to the big guns. First, use the spoolie to smooth out any stray hairs. I then use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Duo Brow Powder in chocolate to start defining the lines before I fill them in. I do my brows every day, so I don't really bother mapping them anymore. I know where my arch needs to sit and when my tail stops. Once I have my shape, I then dip back into my powder and get the darker shade just to fill in the tail end of my brow. I then use a lighter shade to fill out the rest of my brow and give it that natural ombre effect. When I get to the thickest end of the brow, I tend to avoid filling it in at all. This is just so it has a much more natural look to it. I just find when I block fill it in, it can appear a little bit too harsh on my face. However, if that's your jam, then cool. That's it, your brows are now on. You now want to opt to secure them in place with a brow gel. Here I'm using the NYX brow gel in clear. And that's it, thicker, fuller looking brows. No beauticians, cost effective, and no invasive treatments like microblading, which for people with autoimmune conditions that affect the skin, I would avoid at all costs. Don't forget to join in next time for my thinning lock treatments. Thanks for watching.